All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530.
Focusing on quality, spreading wings in the field of consultancy, a Bahraini woman with proven skills in entrepreneurship, media and management. Hala Suleiman, founder and managing director of Beyond Borders Consultancy, Ms. Suleiman comes with almost 3 decades of extensive expertise in the Middle East market and has created and implemented holistic marketing communication strategies. using her knowledge and skills to engage with the various stakeholders in public and private sector. She's launched several startups. In her capacity as an in-house consultant, she is currently the director of the Executive Office of Bahrainuna, the national plan to promote the spirit of belonging to the nation and reinforce the values of nationalism. She is also co-founder of Al Ravi Media, an innovative and award-winning audiobook application specialized in Arabic, and has been appointed as a board member of Radio Bahrain Company. The former Director of Marketing and Communications in Tamkeen, Ms. Suleiman was part of the strategic team responsible for setting the policies and frameworks for the Media Center at the National Dialogue held in the Kingdom of Bahrain in 2011. Ms. Suleiman formerly worked with Vitelco, MTC Vodafone, now Zain, and is passionate about media and have completed several projects in the audio, visual and print media. Former correspondent at the Bahrain Radio and Television Corporation, NBC FM, Arab News and the Gulf Daily News. She has over 20 years of experience in the field. A student pursuing her MBA with Strathclyde University, Glasgow, the Bahraini woman holds a bachelor's degree in mass communications and marketing from the University of Bahrain, as well as many diplomas and certifications in public relations, marketing, human resources, management, and leadership. The Bahrain Business Women's Society board member is also a founding member of the Global Entrepreneurship Network Bahrain chapter. The mother to special twins Mohammed and Danaya, Ms. Suleiman, who has won several regional and global awards, is an advocate of women empowerment and a well-regarded public speaker. Joining us on BizTalk from BMC Global Live tonight is founder and managing director of Beyond Borders Consultancy, Hala Suleiman. With a mind set to explore beyond those rigid borders, perhaps a trait that helps a person, especially an entrepreneur, to come up with his or her best. One such woman, also a mother and a business professional, who has established herself in the field of consultancy and management. Joining me tonight on BizTalk from BMC Global Live, founder and managing director of Beyond Borders Consultancy, Hala Suleiman. Good evening, Hala. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for taking your time to join me on the show.
Good evening, and I'm honored to be here tonight.
Thank you, Hala. You've been a great friend, and it's indeed, I really feel nice to be interacting with a friend. What happened? Technology, it can put us into some tricky situations at times. Sorry for that slight technical glitch. Hala, let's come back to the show. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much. I was telling, like, you're more a friend than an associate. So this evening looks to me like a beautiful chat. with
I'm
a friend.
looking forward to it.
We've been catching up after a long time, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But still, let me begin with my very first question. Such a beautiful name for your agency, Beyond Borders. It's so deep, so vast. Let's start on that. Tell us about Beyond Borders.
I started my consultancy in 2016, and I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to work with clients who were going to either take me beyond my own borders or also promote my country beyond borders. And I wanted to be selective about who I work with. And I kept thinking, you know, what would be an appropriate name for a consultancy? In my heart, in my life, in everything I do, I try to think beyond the box or out of the box, and hence beyond the borders.
You brought out of the box into this show. That reminds me of Sarva.
Absolutely, another friend of ours.
Sarva was here with me. Hi, Sarva, if you're watching us. And Hala, consultancy, management, you know, and communication, a very vibrant field. Pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, you're the right person to tell us, like, especially with your expertise in the Middle East, the large Middle East. How do you find the scene, the field of consultancy and the communication and management?
I've been working in the public and private sector for more than 20 years.
Yes.
And I've seen myself personally develop in my career and in my progress. At the same time, also I've seen how work and the business environment continue to develop and to progress. I think post-pandemic, or we're still living the pandemic.
We're still in the pandemic, yes.
But I'd like to call it post-pandemic. And by the way, I looked at the coronavirus with a very positive and optimistic view, because it forced people to think out of the box, beyond borders, and to also think how to prosper and grow using the superhighway, which is basically the world of the internet and digital communications. So for those who were resistant to digital communications, it's about time that they're now on board and are progressing from a business perspective, utilizing digital marketing, digital communications, virtual world of communicating with each other. I think also at some stage a lot of the programs and TV channels were talking to their guests either through Skype or through Zoom and so on. So it's a new era, and those who want to survive and who want to grow in their business should be at the moment functioning in the digital era and digital communication channels.
Innovation found its way, isn't it, during the past almost 2 years, I would say.
Innovation, and I think now the word is, was it disruptive innovation? Disruptive innovation.
Yeah.
So
yeah, precisely.
About time.
Yeah, and you are also an entrepreneur, startups in both the sectors, private and public, and you have a rich experience in that field as well. And why not we talk on that as well? Simply because this is a time when we see a lot of startups. Some successful, some not, some still trying hard. It's very different from the time you were an entrepreneur, isn't it?
Okay, now this is sort of the moment of truth chair.
Okay.
I never dreamt or thought or planned to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And I think, you know, if you go by the book, there's a specific definition for entrepreneurship: somebody who's risk-taking and somebody who manages a business and who wants to initiate new ideas. I think any business you want to start or you want to work in generally speaking, any project, I think there are two main things. You need to have a passion for it, and you need to believe in it. For me, I think sort of my passion is in communications, is in listening and being part of an interactive and engaging setup wherever I am. As I grew in my career, yes, I've worked in telecoms, I've worked in the media, I've worked in a reform agency like Tim Keen, I've started my own business, I do consultancies, but I think sort of the linkage between all of these jobs are all areas and fields of communication. So from public relations to protocol, to managing a full-fledged marketing and communications department, lobbying. So I try to be an all-rounder in the field of communications, and I try to progress in it. And whatever field any of us chooses to take in entrepreneurship, you have to have a passion for it, and you have to believe in what you're doing, because that's what's going to keep you going with all the challenges of running your own business.
Right. Tell us also about the other hat that you wear, the Al Rawi books.
Al Rawi books. I was waiting for you. I was saying, I hope that's the next question. That's where my passion is.
Yes.
Al Rawi is an audiobook, social media-based platform. I would say we like to call ourselves the Audible of the Middle East. And it was the result of a passion for culture, for knowledge and education. And at the same time, it's evolving the world of audio broadcasting into a mobile application in your hand. So if we talk about the radio stations nowadays, it is still one-way communication with some competition and engagement on social media, responses communicating with each other. In Al Rawi, what we've done is we're providing audiobooks, and we're also evolving into other forms of content in Arabic language. And it's based on a social media network, so the publisher, the narrator, the studio, and the listener to audiobooks can communicate with each other and give feedback. At the same time, any book that we produce, we make sure that we get the feedback and the reviews on the app, and we continue to further develop on whatever content we put on our application. So we innovate and we progress with the feedback of the people and the engagement of the people. Al Rawi is a story of 3 co-founders, myself and my colleagues Mohammed and Amira. We believed in what we were doing. Everybody told us, books is a failing business. Books is something where you will not make money. You're wasting your money on digital books and audiobooks. Yes, it hasn't been easy, but I think as yet we have managed.
When did you launch it? When was this?
We launched also in December 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did the official launch because it's an app. So we did the official launch of the app in November 2017 in the Sharjah Book Fair on a regional basis. And in less than 4 years, we have won 6 major awards, local, regional, and global. At the same time, we have also managed to produce more than 800 books in 10 different genres, with a focus on personal development, entrepreneurship, happiness in the sense of customer satisfaction, leadership. So we looked at content that will help me as an individual to develop myself and to develop my business. And as well, the app allows you to measure and motivate your reading habits and how far you've gone. So it's a continuous engagement using a mobile app in the palm of your hand.
So that's only in Arabic. Do you have any plans to come up with the English version of it for the larger audience?
Technically speaking, the app is scalable to any language.
Okay, all right.
In our new revised model, which we're currently studying and looking at, there is a big possibility that we'll diversify into several languages.
Great.
We are considering democratizing publishing, but on an audio platform.
Okay, interesting. Hala, you've been with Tamkeen, a very different scenario from all what we are talking of now. And you've also have been on that very important position during the country going through a national dialogue. Tell us something about those roles, the responsibilities. How did you enjoy those kind of offices? Especially Tamkeen is something unique to Bahrain, isn't it? Such a program with a vision and a very special project to Bahrain.
Exactly, and Tamkeen is part of the reforms, and it's part of building a future for Bahrainis, for the private sector. And of course, when you develop the individuals, and you develop the businesses, it also makes the whole economy prosper. So it's a, it's a combination. I think they were exciting times because you're part of making the change and making the difference. When I left Tamkeen, a lot of people told me, you're leaving a senior position and you're going off and into the world of unknown. You've done so much and you were part of the founding team of Tamkeen. But I don't believe in titles. I believe that wherever you go, you can make a difference.
Make a difference, yeah.
If you love what you do, and also if you love your country and your community and the people who you care about. So exciting times in Tamkeen, and I think they just as well recently relaunched a new brand, and like there's a whole new youthful team on board. I've been following up as an entrepreneur and also being part of being part of the Tamkeen family. So it was an interesting time because it's changing the mindset of young Bahrainis to be attracted to the private sector, to change from academic professions into skilled professions that are needed for the market, helping and supporting enterprises through enterprise development programs. Of course, my role was marketing and communications, so it was marketing, packaging, and also explaining the concept behind all these reforms that the country is continuously undergoing. So, so this was an interesting time. Also, of course, being part of the strategic team on the national dialogue, that is also very close to my heart. It was a short-term project, but again, it's about how can I support my country wherever I am.
And it was a happening time, isn't it? A very crucial time for Bahrain.
Another crucial, if we can call it a project, but it was a time where certain skills were needed by a team of Bahrainis who were running the media center. And it was to make sure that the proper messages were conveyed, the communication was clear. And even though you're actually in the back end, you're not on the front end when you're in the media center, but you're actually part of this whole thing that's happening. And knowing that it's going to take your country to another level in a specific, in a specific situation or in a specific topic. And I think being part of these gives you the expertise, gives you the ability to learn and acquire knowledge, and also the credibility of your own capability. And knowing that what can I do to serve the specific project or to serve the Kingdom of Bahrain. Bahrain has given its people, has given its residents so much. It deserves all the love and all the giving and all the hard work that it deserves, because it's not just it's not just a country. It's a mother.
Emotion.
It's a motherland. You know, it's your caring mother. It's your island kingdom that cares for its people. Has reformed over the last 21 years. We're having this interview with the anniversary of the National Charter.
Precisely.
So His Majesty the King, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister have been working so hard, if I can say it in plain language, without using all those special terms, to make the Kingdom of Bahrain a better place for its people and also for the residents.
Right. What a beautiful way to explain that, Hala. I'm glad that you brought in this occasion to remind all of us and the viewers that the 21 years of this beautiful growth this island kingdom has gone through, and we humble ourselves before the leadership. Indeed, me as an expatriate, my emotions are nothing different from yours, because this country has never differentiated us between an expat or a citizen. So hats off to the rulers, to the people, and thank you, Hala. And for those who joined us, and maybe people out there who do not know about Tamkeen, it is a very national project. I think it's called empowerment, if I'm not mistaken, the meaning?
Yeah, the literal translation of Tamkeen is empowerment.
Empowerment, and it aimed at empowering the local talent, the nationals, and it is extending support
to the nationals and also to the private sector. So hence it does support So the money does go to the Bahraini companies. It does go to individuals who invest in Bahrain, but that will help also in creating job opportunities for Bahrainis, and also it will help in sort of, it catalyzes the private sector.
Right. A project that is close to the heart of the Crown Prince,
Absolutely.
if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
Right. We thank the royal leadership for all that they are doing for this country. And tonight with me on BizTalk, it is Hala Suleiman. Let us take a short break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back to BizTalk from BMC Global Live, and tonight with me is founder and managing director of Beyond Border Consultancy, Hala Suleiman. Hala, let's move into the next segment of the show where we get to know a little more about you, the person. Well, you are an entrepreneur turned a successful businesswoman, and you've been through all what we were discussing. All this brings in a lot of responsibilities onto you as an individual and as a woman. What are your social commitments that you are engaged with? I know you are into a couple of things.
Yes, I'm into a lot of things.
Okay.
My friends keep calling me a social butterfly.
Right.
But I'm a combination of an extrovert and an introvert. It's one of those weird traits. But I'm a mother of two children, twins, Mohammed and Dania, and they're now 22.
Okay.
And they have been an amazing backbone and support for me. They've always been a motivation for me to, to continue to progress or succeed. So they've been my supporters, in my opinion. Of course, all of my family have been, but especially my twins. And I am also, one of the things I believe in is I worked and volunteer with two community projects. One is Injaz, Bahrain, which is part of Junior Achievement Worldwide, and it's basically also a non-profit organization which supports youth and students and helps them develop in entrepreneurship, literacy skills, a number of skills that help students to acquire knowledge about entrepreneurship, how to set up a business, how to be financially independent. And I volunteered with them for about a good 8 years, if not more, actually more than 10 years, sorry. And also with Shamsaha. Shamsa Middle East is a woman crisis care center. Basically supports women who are who face sometimes, I think, different forms of domestic violence. And when you look at these two areas, one of the reasons I've chosen to support and to work socially on this project is because it looks at the family, and it looks at the children, and it looks at empowering sort of the cornerstones of the society. If I can mentor youth, that means I am also helping them for their future. And I'm helping them think and engage and rethink the way forward. Again, also supporting women who may be suffering some forms of domestic violence means I'm helping a family. And this family, if things are safe, if the situation has been supported, if a solution has been given, that means we've given this family an opportunity. And again, the family plays an important role in our community and society. And both experiences, and it's volunteer work, not for profit for the actual, the people who are managing these organizations, and also for the volunteers, were also a learning experience for me. So for example, if I'm mentoring students in the schools and I'm talking with them, they actually open my eyes to things I sometimes may have never thought of. I also run back home and talk to my children about things that I didn't talk to my children about this. Especially when I listen to the students. So again, it's giving and taking. And no matter how old you grow, no matter how much experience you have, if you're open to learning, whatever you do, whether at work or again in community work, it's an opportunity for you to continue to learn and to give it back. And it's a cycle. Both organizations have done remarkable job in the Kingdom of Bahrain. And they have been supported as well by the sort of the legal framework and the governmental framework. So imagine, if these organizations are supported, they're not for profit, and they're also trying to help youth and families, and there are volunteers like both of us in these organizations. Imagine sort of the magic that we can do to make a difference in the society.
Indeed, Shamsa is really an eye-opener at times. Me, myself being there, I can relate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's for the part on community work. Also, I do a lot of different community work to help children with special needs. And simply because my daughter Dania has cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I say she motivates me, because despite some of the challenges she has, she continues to flourish, she continues to prosper, and she's a fighter. And I know how tough it is, so I work on different projects to help families and parents with children with special needs, even if just by giving advice and support. It's sometimes a gentle word, a kind word, a cup of coffee with a parent who may be, facing a tough time with a child with special needs can sometimes also make a difference and help them, give them sort of the push to continue and to support their children. So I think there's small things, but I think
certain small things can make a big difference, and these small things add up to mightier things, isn't it?
And it's and things which I enjoy. And again, I know I keep using these two words throughout the interview, but believe and passion on how you can help and make a difference.
Yeah, it's great to hear about your twins, especially Dania. I think I apologize for pronouncing her name the other way around on the intro.
So she's watching now.
Hi Dania, hi Mohammed, right?
Yes.
Mohammed and Dania, if you're watching us, it's a hello from me and the rest of the team here. Very happy to hear about you. What do they do, studying students?
Mohammed is in UK. He's studying forensic computing and cybersecurity.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yes. So again, it's the digital era, and it's one of the things where, as a parent, you work with your children to talk to them about what are the new careers what are the new skills needed for the market. And he loves to cook. He's a much better cook than his mother. Big time.
All right.
And Dania is graduating this year from school, and she's looking at studying multimedia design. She's an amazing artist, and she has a lovely eye for colors. And she's also been doing her own community work. So she does a lot of paintings and resells them, and any money that she puts together, she gives it to societies and associations that support children with special needs.
Interesting. God bless. God bless, Dania. That's beautiful. That's beautiful a thought, and God has blessed her with talents and which she's using it for His glory. Indeed, great to hear that. What a beautiful family. God bless.
Thank you. And I'm thankful and grateful as well.
Yes. All about giving back. You have a beautiful definition of giving back, and nothing can be not but with relation to the pandemic, isn't it, these days, every talk. How do you think these situations or these kind of engagements, the social engagements, especially the mentoring and the other kind of engagements, how do you think the pandemic time has impacted it, and how did you overcome those kind of challenges?
I think Bahrain has had an amazing experience. Nobody could have solved the coronavirus. You couldn't stop the coronavirus from happening. But it was the ability and talent to manage a potential crisis. And I think, again, the King of Bahrain did a remarkable job in doing so. So some of the initiatives that I participated in was a very interesting project by the Supreme Council for Women, which is, again, the literal translation is your remote consultant or remote coach. And we worked as...
What is it called in Arabic?
مستشارك عن بعد.
Yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah.
And it's basically it's sort of your remote consultant or virtual consultant, but it's actually coaching and mentorship and trying to guide some of the businesswomen who needed some help and needed somebody to listen or hear to them or guide them on, where to go and what's the next step. So it was completely managed by the Supreme Council for Women. We came in, I'm a board member of Bahrain Businesswomen Society, and so we came in as members of the Bahrain Businesswomen Society, volunteered to work with the Supreme Council for Women, and we were doing weekly calls that were scheduled and were recorded virtually, and we would have chats with them and gave them options and guidance on what's the next step, where can you go from here. Wherever they needed help with certain contacts or with a network or with the authorities, government authorities, we were there to extend it. So it was a time where a lot of the business community, whether male or female, but let's say in this particular situation we were focusing on businesswomen or female entrepreneurs, where they just needed some mentorship and they needed some guidance because they were still working with traditional businesses or they were still applying the traditional method. So helping them to rethink their business, helping them to innovate. And that was at a time where the pandemic was at its climax and where there was fear of, let's call it death, or fear of the unknown, maybe a better term. In addition to businesses potentially suffering from, from losses or even closure. So how to cope with either trying to survive or how to cope with failure, if it's the correct term. And I don't think in any venture you go to, if you close down, it's a failure, because at least you know that you've tried and you've done your best, and it's not an issue at all to fail and to stand up again and try again until you succeed, or try to find what could be the appropriate route for you to take, whether in business or in your career.
Great, great. So Hala, as we move to the next segment, we would like to know more about, though you just mentioned about your family, your beautiful family, but then definitely a little more. But before I go into it, let me ask you, what will be your strength? If I ask you, what is your strength?
Never thought of that question, but okay, sorry. But
that question just popped into my mind because listening to you, the variety of things that you're handling, I'm sure it's not easy, isn't it? Things have been tough.
Actually, now I just thought of the answer, and I'm speaking so casually because my partner, who's a Gallup consultant, or was previously a Gallup consultant, coached us and did for us a Strengths Finder assessment.
Okay.
And it basically it's like an evaluation and personality assessment, and it tests what are your biggest strengths. And one of them is maximizer. And I say this with a big smile because every time we do something, whether at work or at family and everything, because we were assessed and we understand each other's strengths. So he was saying, of course, because you try to maximize everything.
Okay.
So I'd be like, okay, if I'm going to this place, I should be getting the work done, meeting people, networking, having fun, and making business. And so it's like doing 10 things at the same time. Now, a lot of people don't believe in multitasking and being multifunctional, but I think we're superwomen.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And we somewhat can do it, but I think one strength is maximizing on opportunities, not necessarily from a financial perspective, but making the most of any situation. If I put it in simple terms, I'm not talking about Gallup's Strength Finder. I think I see everything with a touch of positivity. Coronavirus was an opportunity. Yes, it was a pandemic. Yes, there was fear. Yes, there was potential losses, the fear of unknown. But also it made us revisit and rethink our lives. It gave us, it forced us to stop and slow down and get to know ourselves and our families and our homes again. It made people, some people got divorced, but it made people get to know their families, actually appreciate, their loved ones more, and try to enjoy time. And I think that sort of skill, or that sort of little thing in me about looking about everything with positivity, made me continue, made me go on. One way for me to survive being sort of the isolation and being not being able to do as much socializing as I usually do was I studied my master's.
Okay.
And I said, I'm not grounded because of coronavirus. I'm grounded because I'm doing my master's.
Okay.
So again, it's looking at it from a positive perspective.
Yeah,
so
precisely. I'm not surprised. The positivity and the maximizing or the multitasking ability, I'm not surprised because the Hala whom I know for over a decade now, I knew this was your answer.
Okay, thank you.
So that is Hala Suleiman with me on BizTalk from BMC Global Life. Let's take a short break.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 38 85 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com.
Welcome back to BizTalk from BMC Global Live. And with me tonight is the very vibrant and positive Hala Suleiman. Hala, as we come to the close of this beautiful evening chat, I feel so comfortable chatting with you. You just told me about your special twins, and I'm really impressed to hear about Dania and her talents. Definitely, even about Mohammed. I would love to taste his cuisine one of these days. I'm really surprised. Tell me, who is your inspiration? Though you said your children are your strength and support, motivation, but do you have any special person that you remember?
Yes, my father. My father is my late father, Ahmed Suleiman. He passed away in 2005. He was my father, he was my friend, he was my mentor, he was my buddy, my date, you name it. He taught me a lot of things without actually teaching me. I've been with him, like wherever he goes, I'm always tagging. He was a media person as well. He started he was part of the founding team of the Arabic radio, and he also founded the English radio station. And he literally, I know this is like sort of a bit sad, but before he died, he was taken from the radio to the hospital. Oh. So, he died leaving his heart in a place where, he spent more than 45 years in. And I learned from him positivity. I learned from him work ethics. I learned from him his love and care for family. So he is my sort of living idol. And no matter how many years go by, it actually gets harder, and I miss him and I love him truly. And I think he's sort of an icon for the whole family as well. So yeah, he is my, I always go back to him or think of him and remember things he used to tell me.
Right, the social media person that you are, we get to see his pictures often on your profiles, and yes, I can relate to that. Yeah, and Hala, you have so many things in hand, so many responsibilities, plus you're a mother and a businesswoman. I know it's very difficult to find some time for your passion and hobbies, but I'm sure you do have a hobby or hobbies.
Yes, I do have quite a few. I love to travel.
Okay.
And I think I've traveled, I'd love to say all over the world, but I think I've done about 30% of the world.
Okay.
And I love to travel because you actually learn when you're traveling. And I see it as a form of education because and I love reading, but no matter how much books you read, once you travel and you mix with the people and with the culture and with sort of, you become part of the day-to-day happenings in a specific country, it's a totally new experience. And when I travel, I always try to think, so what can I take back with me other than the beautiful memories? So I also collect salt and pepper shakers. And I have a collection of about, at the moment, around 500.
Okay.
Now that's the only thing that COVID stopped me from increasing.
Yeah.
But not only do I have that passion, my friends started traveling and started always picking up souvenirs. And sometimes I'd go to the office and I'd find 2 salt and pepper shakers with no name on it. And people forget to tell me that they've actually, dropped it for me or gotten me a gift or something. But I always know, okay, somebody's thinking about me. And every time people, they WhatsApp me or send me a message on social media, I saw this and I remembered you. So it's a good thing to be remembered when people are traveling. And I think I have from all sorts of strange places, from Vietnam, from India, from Finland, from Palestine, all sorts of countries.
Which would be one that you remember, which is unique? Because I've seen many of them on your social media again. Some are really cute, very interesting, very unique. But is there anything that stands out as a memory or something which you picked very special?
I think every single one has its own sort of unique characteristics because it represents each country. But a lot of the Scandinavian salt and pepper shakers, they always sort of relate to history or to their actual cultural clothing. I usually like to get the handmade ones, the really unique ones which are not easy to do. Sometimes they're actually quite expensive. But it's worth carrying, and it's always a souvenir and a memory to take back. And I tried to Google if there's ever a salt and pepper shaker museum.
Okay.
And apparently there are two other in the world. One is in Tennessee, and another one is in, I think it was in Paris.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it was another European country, but it's the same family. And it's a museum that has something like 18,000 salt and pepper shakers.
Okay.
So I have a long way to go and compete.
You have a target? Is that the target?
My target is to travel and enjoy myself and always pick a salt and pepper shaker. Now I really hope I can get to travel 18,000 times. So
let's hope with things getting better. Let's hope that you get back to your travel. And as we come to the close, what is your vision forward? Be it with the Al Rawi books or with Beyond Borders or is in person, how do you foresee yourself 5 years from now?
I've divided my life into 3 phases. The first 20 is, growing up and the years of formation. The second 20 is creating milestones, creating credibility, being sort of making a few achievements in your career and your life. And the last 20, although I'm not saying, that life ends at the age of 60, on the contrary, but it's usually sort of, the prime years. But the third phase of the third 20 years is enjoying life and knowing where you want to go and doing things that you really believe in and where you really have a passion in. No matter how old I grow, and I'm proud to say I'm 48, that I'm a continuous learner. I have a thirst for knowledge and thirst for wanting to learn more, to be challenged, and to create a difference. And I always sort of, when I do something and I think it's special, I hashtag it and call it difference maker. People sometimes use change maker, but I call it difference maker. And I think that's where I want to go in any area that I join in. Something I haven't mentioned is I've been a newsreader and presenter, I think since 1994 with Radio Bahrain, Bahrain TV, and also with MBC Corporation and a few other channels. Recently, 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, I became a board member of Radio Bahrain company, which is a wholly owned subsidiary by Mumtalakat. And this is the part where, although I have passion for the media and practicing and reading news and searching for news, by moving to being a board member, you can actually make a difference and change the dynamics of an organization. So again, you choose a path in life, but in every step you take, you think, okay, I'll take this step, or yes, I'll accept this challenge because I know it will take me either personally or my organization or my country, a step further to a better future.
Great. Thank you, Hala, for being with us this evening. We're really happy to have you from Team BMC. Can I have your wrapping comments, please?
Again, thank you for having me tonight. And I hope I've been a light guest. And I totally, if there's anything I can say, also knowing that a lot of the majority of the target audience comes from the Asian and Indian community, is that I love the Indian culture. I love the Asian community and the Asian culture, and I travel extensively there. So I'm so glad that I'm part of this, that I've been hosted and part of the sort of the guests that you have had on this program.
Thank you very much, Hala. Thanks a lot. A woman who regards herself as a global citizen, who will not hesitate to explore and push beyond the limits to ensure the best. That was founder and managing director of Beyond Borders Consultancy, Hala Suleiman, with me on BizTalk from BMC Global Live. Until we meet next week with yet another guest, this is Raji Unnikrishnan signing off. Good night. Hala, once again, thank you. And we have a small token of appreciation for joining us. I invite Francis Kaidaratha, the Chairman and Managing Director of BMC.
Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Hope you enjoyed.
To
Absolutely.
hand over the memento.
Thank you. Okay, again, my photo, okay.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
The exclusive franchisee of Consultancy Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530.